at this wonderful field right now, and I want to discuss how to buy a home and what's the process like. So I'm gonna break it all down in this video. Don't you worry, Chris got you. Why I moved to Florida. So number one is you want to get pre-qualified. I have a lot of great lenders, especially right now. The best thing that I'm offering my clients is a no money down loan. There's no catch. There's no hassle or anything weird. It's just no money down. I work with South State Bank, and it requires you to buy a home with no down payment required. Also, you'll be saving more money working with my preferred lender, South State Bank, because they do not charge private mortgage insurance. Most brokers charge this. It can range between 100 to 150 to almost $300 per month. So going with me and working with my lender, I'm already saving you money from not putting down a down payment to not paying PMI each month. So once you work with my lender, we start going through the numbers. Your credit score at least has to be a 640, but if you do have a lower credit score than that, don't feel like you can't reach out to me. I can help you still. Even if your credit score is not high enough, still reach out to me. Between me and my loan officer Sharon at South State Bank, we can make it happen, even if it takes a couple months to get you ready. So once we look at your credit score, that's said and done. Usually your debt to income ratio needs to be no higher than 40%. Again, if it's higher, we can help you. Debt to income ratio, fancy word, is just saying how much debt that you have in relations to your income. So once we have a thing called a pre-approval letter, we can finally start shopping for a home. Here, I've been in Florida for about 20 years. I'm very familiar with all the various cities that we have: Orlando, Deltona, DeLand, Winter Park, Winter Garden, Winter Springs, Miami, Florida, you name it, I know it. So we'll identify some cities based on your pre-approval price, and then we'll start to go shopping. So let's fast forward. We start seeing some homes, and you found the one that you love. I will never pressure you to buy a home. I want to make sure that you're happy today when you first see the home, and 10 years from now when you're already living in the home. So once we do that, we found a home you love, we'll submit our offer. Our offer will be placed on an as-is contract. It's about 12 or 13 pages long. I'll go over the whole thing with you so you know exactly what you're signing. We'll submit our offer to the listing agent in hopes to be approved. Now, I've done dozens of transactions. I know how to get it done regardless of the scenario. If there's a multiple offer situation on a home that you love, I have tools available and resources available to make sure it happens and you get the home that you love. So we'll fast forward. We got our offer accepted. You're one step closer into getting into the home. Now let's discuss the process from when your offer is accepted till you move in. Now the timeline starts as soon as both sides agree to the contract, meaning the seller and the buyer both sign. That starts usually a 30-day timeline. Some days we can make it quicker, like 21 days, but typically it's between 30 to 35 days. Now, between the first 3 days, you have to put a deposit down. It's called an earnest money deposit. That way, it's showing the seller that you're serious and you want to make this dream happen with this particular home. Usually, an earnest money deposit is $2,000. So you put the earnest money deposit with the title company, and the title company is another party, a part of this transaction. They make sure the home that you're buying doesn't have any liens and doesn't have anything that is going to affect you being the new owner. So they hold the money essentially. So you have 3 days to do that. From that first day that everything is signed, moves into the inspection period, which is about 5 days long. I'll give you a list of 5 to 6 inspectors that I've used in the past, and you can call to pick whoever can come out the quickest, who is the cheapest and most affordable to you. So then that's the inspection. Sorry, that's the inspection period. I'll also come to the inspection, and I think you should too as the buyer. That way you can start to see some things about the home. The inspector always points out things that are notable, either how to maintain something, how to service something. There's a lot of things that don't necessarily make your inspection report, but that can be talked about during the inspection. The inspection is between 2 to 3 hours. Sometimes it's an hour and a half, but that's usually the range. So that's from day 1 to day 5 is the inspection period. Next, after we move past that, is the appraisal period. And appraisal is We'll have a state approved appraiser come out to the property that you're going to buy to verify that the purchase price that you're paying for this home is correct and that you're not paying overpriced for something that's not worth that. So that's a good thing. Now that does cost $600, and the inspection does cost $350. So that's just a part of your expenses as a buyer. Florida here, we're very cultural. We have a lot of different races, quite diverse background. One of the main reasons why I love living here in Florida. There's a lot of different races. It's a cultural mixing pot of people, and I love it. Getting back to the process. So far we talked about the earnest money deposit, we talked about the inspection period, we talked about the appraisal. Now after appraisal, we're about 3 weeks into our 4 week timeline to buy your home. To me, the appraisal is like we're about so close to the finish line. The next one is the financing period, where your loan is approved by the lender and it goes into underwriting. That's usually when the lender is going to request a lot of documents, from pay stubs to verifying your income to bank statements. All of that needs to be turned in by that time. So that's usually the brunt of the work that you have to do during that period between week 3 and week 4. Once that's all said and done, we get the clear to close, which is called when the underwriter approves your loan, we are clear to close. That means we can sail on to the finish line and get to you to your dream home. Once we have the clear to close, the very last step is the final walkthrough, which I'll come with you. We double check that everything is working as stated in the contract. So we'll check the appliances again. We'll make sure everything is fine. And if anything is not living up to your standards, we can go back to the seller and be like, hey, can you fix this? Can you work that out? But usually during the inspection period, all of those things are found out. But final inspection, final day, that's usually the day before we close. So you have one last chance to just double check. Next is the closing date, which we'll meet with the title company. The seller will be there sometimes. You will be there, usually in separate rooms, as we don't want either party to meet usually. Everyone signs, and then usually maybe a couple hours beyond that, the money will move from the mortgage company to the seller. As soon as it's funded on both sides, you are officially a homeowner. And that's the process. I know it seems long, but you won't be doing it alone. You'll have me, your real estate agent, there throughout the whole way. My clients call me all the time with questions, and I always answer. That's one thing I pride myself of, is my customer service and being with you throughout the whole process, even beyond you buying the home. Like when you're actually owning the home, I still reach out to you if you need a vendor for a repair or just any questions, really. I mean, I've done this for numerous of years. I've helped dozens of clients, and I'm a great resource to have in your corner. If you like videos like this, I would love to do more. Feel free to subscribe, feel free to like, leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this video. Let me know what I can do better to explain. If there's anything that you're unsure of in the real estate market that I can explain more, let me know that as well. And of course, have a good day. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.